There you go.
हाँ
I
हो
know you're
गया
gonna
पर
kick. Ah, finally. Sorry about that.
20 मिनट वेस्ट हो गए। काफी
Hmm.
लोग जो वेट कर रहे होंगे वो तो निकल लिए
वो चले
होंगे।
गए. Yeah, yeah.
हाँ
Sorry, yeah.
कोई बात नहीं, इट्स ओके इट्स
So,
ओके। ये चीज हमको एक्चुअली पहले ट्राई कर लेनी चाहिए थी, अगर डाउट था तो पहले
correct,
बताना
correct,
चाहिए।
correct. No, last time I remembered when we did the session for exercise, Surbala did it for me. So I was
हाँ
thinking that I knew how to do it. It was very simple, which it was. I just forgot how to go to live. That's all. Sorry about
कोई नहीं, इट्स ओके इट्स ओके।
that.
तो बताओ कैसे हो, सब ठीक ठाक उधर?
Yeah. Everything okay? Just same situation as yours, different zip code. Bas. But you are still hometown, right? So
मैं
you're at
इन होम टाउन इन माय विलेज।
Anji, village. I mean, sorry. Yeah.
हाँ गांव में हूँ
So
फिलहाल।
hmm,
तो अगेन यू नो द जिम इज क्लोज सो
yeah,
स्टिल।
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, and there is no news in terms of no concrete information of what one can do and cannot do. But I guess everybody can be careful and follow the protocols if they are doing exercise and if they are training with a partner. So which I see you do. I hope everybody else does as well. So
Yeah, that's what the thing, no, coach. We cannot be just get depressed or
yes,
sit back and torture our mind that we cannot do anything else and like create problem, more problem in our mind, make it a bigger thing, because we had to find a solution somehow, and it's not
absolutely.
going to. The corona is not going to go away so soon, so I think government will take also a little bit more time now because it starts spreading with more speed, you can say. So I think it will take time. So by the time we have to at least keep our body fit, keep doing exercise and conditioning, be in touch with the body movements and flexibility and all. And
Absolutely.
as soon as gym's open, we'll be back.
Certainly, certainly. That's like they say, an empty mind and not doing anything is pretty much, a devil's workshop. It's a very old saying, but it is very true though. बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हो अगर देखो we are used to doing so much of activity, we are not used to staying at home, right? At least
Yeah,
most of us. और
yeah,
जिनको
most of
ये
it.
आदत नहीं है उनको एंजाइटी एंड इरिटेशन एंड stuff like that starts coming up in your thought process and in your actions, and then
Mhm.
that is something, if it goes unchecked, it may not affect you adversely, but आपके जो आसपास है, they can see it and notice it, and that's not a good vibe to have, if you're not taking care of it. You know what I mean? So
True.
it is very important, to keep yourself occupied, with something that takes care of your let's talk about physical activity. So your body is kind of used to the routine,
Mhm.
and you suddenly break that routine, then obviously you're not used to that situation. So mostly आप adversely उस पे your reactions and how you stay after that, it shows, it reflects in a negative manner for you and for those around you. So it is very important कि हम सब अपने आप को we keep our schedules. Sure, we cannot do all the same things that we were able to do before this started, the pandemic,
Mhm.
but we can still structure things around, and and then keep ourselves busy like that. There are a lot of options. You can't say that I can't exercise. You can't exercise if somebody has locked you up and tied you down on a chair or something like that.
Mhm.
You just need a little bit of area if you're serious about keeping yourself busy and keeping whatever your goals are. But
Yeah,
first, it starts from your basics of being right in the head. So
true. Also, Sensei, can you go a little bit backwards because I can see only your eyes on topic.
Okay, sorry. I have to
Yeah.
hold my phone because I have to sit in this room
Ah,
with
okay,
my
okay. I
with my
remember.
with my bacha. So
Mhm.
yeah, so I'm not disturbed. Yeah,
Just
sorry about
just
that.
hold
This
it
is
a
better.
little
Yeah,
bit backwards. Yeah, yeah, that's better.
yeah,
That's better. So that's the thing right now. The topic we are trying to discuss is too broad right now
yeah.
because so many things are mingling right now. One thing is for athlete. Second thing is for the normal human beings. And third thing is how to occupy your mind or your time when you cannot do your used to go things. It doesn't matter if we are athlete or somebody used to go to job or somewhere else and now they are sitting home, you know.
Yes, yes.
And third thing is dealing with the situations and problems which are arising due to those two things, you know.
Correct, correct.
So let's talk about the first our athlete community.
Yeah,
So right now, let's say if we are in home, our gyms are closed, our academies are uh, still in waiting period. I think government will issue some uh, memorandum like this unlock one. I think in third phase they will allow the gyms to open, right?
yeah. That's what we're thinking.
Yeah. So by the time we cannot be just like that. Okay, we will work out when we feel good. If it doesn't feel good, we will just be lazy and sit around and eat and try to think other things. So we need to be focused. It's only in our hands. You can say that if we want to improve, doesn't matter if we are improving at a slower rate. If we are improving maybe 0.15%, that's okay also. But we can for sure we can keep ourselves fit and we can learn some from I'm a big fan of visual learning. So if you will watch some videos on YouTube, if you are jiu-jitsu guy like me, jiu-jitsu stuff, if you are Muay Thai guy, Muay Thai stuff, MMA guy, MMA stuff, so that will give you some ideas also. Oh, things can happen like this also. Things can happen like that also. I can escape like this. So those
Hmm.
things will stuck in your mind because you're right now you are hungry for that, right?
Correct, correct.
And as soon as we'll come back, if you are intent to improve, then you can really start implementing those things. It will take a little bit time, but improvement will come a lot faster than just staying lazy and inactive,
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, again, there is two ways of looking at it. If you are at a stage where you need to take the next step and you're in this current situation, I mean, if you don't have any other option, you got to make do with what is available, right?
True.
It's and you cannot make any excuse about it. And athletes in themselves are very disciplined. But
Mm-hmm.
everybody has a different threshold. सबका threshold सोचने का तरीका सब कुछ different होता है और you will handle an issue a different way. I would handle an issue maybe a different way, so on and so forth. But bottom line is, if you have to, you don't lose all that you have worked for. You got to keep, having that in your routine, in your structure, in your practice.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, then you'll be when this, slowly when things start to improve and we have, permission to train the way we used to, it then we are starting from scratch or we are starting from below where we were, right? We can
Mm-hmm.
take this time to at least the minimum we can do is maintain and improve on things that we already know, right? And keep that in our structure, and then keep adding on and keep working on it. There nothing is going anywhere. It won't open, and the next day won't be a BJJ competition or some MMA fights or some boxing event. So it will take time unless something else happens that we don't know of. But it is very important to stay with the program that you've already been with. And
Mhm.
whatever you have to improvise obviously, because same structure नहीं है ना. अब आप घर पे train कर रहे हो या gym पे train कर रहे हो या fighting के साथ train कर रहे हो, these are separate things. बट जो आप कर सकते हो, जो आपके आपको मालूम है आपके फंडामेंटल्स जो है, you can keep making them better, you can keep making your basics so much better than they are, and keep improving in that sense. I mean, the day a fighter thinks that they have learned everything is the day they are, going to go downhill. So we
True.
know that, or even an athlete or any kind of athlete. So it is very important for us to keep ourselves, busy with that routine and structure, improvise, and just make ourselves keep adding on to what we already have, but keep improving the basics as well, whatever they may be,
True.
whatever field you come from.
Hmm. And the second, I think right now, the most important thing is today is International Yoga Day. And on
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
occasion of that, I want to say that right now we are forgetting our roots. India was used to be a country where people used to practice yoga like their really, sorry, daily routine, eating and doing their work, same like that. And yoga is just not bending postures and twisting your bodies in some other way. Yoga is the word yoga means union. So it's a kind of a procedure, or you can say the science, which allows you to bring your body and your mind, or you can say your soul or your life energy, or whatever you want to say it, in a sync with
Yes,
nature. And right now,
absolutely.
that's the most important thing we need to bring back into our culture, because that can handle with these topics, these new so-called uh, diseases like depression, anxiety, mental issues. It can help in a big way with that. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. Mostly if you look at, our culture and so on, uh, it is very scientific, and these are very normal things that we have kind of gone away from, because as technology goes, gets better, um, we get lazier, right? And we go away from things that, do that are real good for us. Like when how life keeps getting convenient, the lazier we start getting away from the basics, and we don't want to do that. Sure, things, technology, let it get better, but we got to stay, we got to stay leveled, and we got to stay right in the head. So, in fact, like you said, you're right. Every day used to be International Yoga Day as far as India was concerned, in terms
True.
of being practiced religiously, disciplined in a disciplined way, and uh, and reaping the benefits out of it. So,
Yeah.
yes, I totally agree with you on that. It's very important. See, the mind controls everything. So if
Yeah.
your mind isn't right, then you could be the best athlete in the world. If your mind is somewhere else, you step into the cage, a person half than you would possibly be able to, you know,
Al-
finish you.
Also,
Or
and also somebody should be controlling that mind also.
absolutely, absolutely. It's like, आजकल टेक्नोलॉजी, अब टेक्नोलॉजी ले लो, आप फोन देख लो, आप घर पे बैठो, everybody is on a dining table or sitting together, everybody is on their phone. One's concentration is here, one is on something else, one is playing something. There is no connection within the families themselves, or I wouldn't say no, but I would say reduced, because of this, right? Um, we don't give, like how my mother says, and she says this a lot. जैसे हम फोन को चार्ज करने के लिए लगा देते हैं, राइट? हम अपने आप को कभी चार्ज नहीं करते ठीक तरह. How
That's the
and it
thing.
is Yeah, and that is the key. You keep your mind right. You keep yourself sorted. Things. Uh, you meditate. You do breathing exercises. You do all this. We have gone kind of far away from. Even current day fighters or athletes don't think it is important. Not all, but quite a few. And we need to kind of go back to our roots and go back to things that actually work without the chronic effects of anything. You can take your phone, then you talk about radiation. All this stuff messes with our head, and it takes us away from what we want to be healthy. We just don't want to be healthy physically. We need to be healthy here. If this is healthy, everything falls in place for the most part. There's always exceptions, but for the most part, I'm talking.
And I want to break down your example of mobile in a simpler term so that everybody can understand. So guys, like we recharge our mobile in two way, right? One is we are recharging our SIM card with the money or data or something else, right? Second thing, we are recharging our mobile's battery with the phone's charger. So that's the two way we need to take care about also. We recharge our body with the food and knowledge and stuff, watching and learning, maybe reading, something like that. And second thing, that's the most important thing. That's what went away from us. And I'm not totally agree that we got lazy because of that, but we had a history of uh, getting attacked by outsiders from like last 9 or 10, maybe 1,000 years, right? First Mughals and then Britishers. So they ruled our country for a long period of time, and they destroyed our basic structure like completely. They destroyed our education system like Nalanda, Takshila, and all. They destroyed our home. You can say the businesses like small businesses, right? And they made the structure like that that everybody can uh, go to schools and read only those things which will help them to work in their factories like
Mhm.
worker palraks,
Correct.
you know,
Right.
because they
Right.
were sitting on higher positions.
Right. Right.
They didn't care about our culture or our heritage. They destroyed it
Absolutely.
so that they can use everything, including raw material and including manpower, just for their own benefit, you know.
True. True.
So that was the, I think, biggest reason we went away, or we pulled somebody pulled us away from our culture and yoga and all.
Right.
And if we are discussing with that, so right now this is a hot topic because you heard last week this actor Sushant Singh Rajput testified, right?
Yeah.
And it was a big news. Everybody was sharing uh, his affairs on social media, condolences, and those all things. But we need to really think about those things. He was not the only one. There are so many people right now. They are getting affected with these things: depression, anxiety, stress. You know, they are becoming the big diseases these days. Not like just not like other TB or asthma or arthritis. Not like that. And we really need to learn to deal with these things, otherwise they will in coming 10 or 15 years they will destroy the human population in a big way. We cannot imagine like that, right?
Yeah.
So what do you suggest in that area? What should we be doing?
Uh, so first, yes, I agree with you in terms of that our education got turned around. You're right. It became more geared towards administrative job, other than a few other lines of work. And mostly, it was to train us to be administrative workers, so to speak, right?
Yeah,
Second, when I said laziness, I mean in our daily lives, in our daily routines, right? And not all of us, but quite a few of us. Small things keep adding up over a period of time, and then it leads to that. So now coming to the topic of
mental health.
mental health and mental diseases. There is a lot. There's a lot. There is mood disorders, which would be like depression, which would be like uh, bipolar disorder.
Mhm.
Then you have anxiety. Then you have schizophrenia. You have ADHD. You name it, and they've almost named mostly all of them.
Mhm.
Um, there is Now there is mental health issues due to some chemical imbalance in your brain, right, in your body, and then there is addiction-based mental health disorders.
Mhm.
So the first one is that there is something in your system that makes you either have peaks and valleys. That would be in case of mostly in case of bipolar disorder. Peaks and
Mhm.
valleys are often referred to as either you'll be very high and very happy, or you are like in the pits and you are, everything is, the kind of thought
True,
process
true.
you have is everything is lost, there's no one who can help me, everything is doomed. So these are the two kind of thought processes as far as bipolar disorder is concerned. There is personality disorders. There's so many of them. Thing is, it is very important for us to have a support system, a support structure. We sometimes athletes or people who are in a certain type of job, we think we don't need anybody to help us because we are so strong. We do whatever kind of training, so on and so forth. No, the thing is, sure, physically we can be strong, mentally we can be strong in whatever line of work we are in, but everybody needs somebody who can, help them uh, or help talk through some situations with them. ठीक है? तो आप चाहे कोई भी हो, कहीं के भी हो, आप कोई कितने भी high level athlete हो, or a person who is in a different let's take Hollywood, Bollywood acting and actors and artists. Their line of work is not easy. It's high pressure. It's very competition is up there. You don't do something right, you're out of the picture, just like any other profession. But the thing is, the first and the foremost thing is you need to have somebody to talk to, somebody who can, reason with you, can make you feel better, help you calm down, and get you the help that you need, so you can meet a person who is professionally certified to help you out of it. If this
True.
thing is something, mental health is something you do not overlook. अगर खुद सोचो आपका एक्सीडेंट हुआ, आप गाड़ी चला रहे हो, किसी का एक्सीडेंट हो गया, आप you do not tend to your injury. If you have let's say, you've scraped your skin and after you're not treating it, you can get gangrene, right?
True.
And then what happens if it is not untreated? At the end, you have to get it chopped off. I'm sorry
Mhm.
if the way I'm saying it, but that is a fact. So
Yeah.
same with mental health. If you do not address these issues and you think कि हाँ जो भी है हो जाएगा ठीक कुछ नहीं होता, it is just a phase or this and that, and it is not a phase, then you're heading for trouble, because you're going to end up obviously hurting yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, whichever way, and then the people around you. So, and the people who really care about you, like your parents, or maybe your whoever you're in a relationship with, or married to, or your friends, or whoever the close ones are, and that support system, depending on the strength of it and the understanding and what their understanding is of the issue that you're having, which is mental health,
Mhm.
uh, then it really depends on how it is built to be able to solve the issue. So the best thing is you need to keep yourself occupied, with a structure. Otherwise, you will feel hopeless and helpless. You will think, "Ye nahi ho raha, wo nahi ho raha." The mind will go towards negative thoughts. That is the first step. Second step, you get help. You start talking to somebody you can take into confidence, somebody who can listen, make sense of what is going on with you and help you, or get you the help that you need. So,
True.
so how it works, Anand, is that if this is an issue, you go to a psychologist, and you tell them about yourself. You note down your thoughts beforehand. And why I say that is because usually when you're in a conversation with somebody, you can get carried away and you can forget the most important things you have to discuss. So first, you put your thoughts down of what is bothering you, what your triggers are. What triggers are is what pushes your buttons to do or to feel, the negative feelings or the feelings of hopelessness, or the kind of thoughts you get in your mind that are not conducive for a good life. So once you've done that, you've already spoken to somebody in your support structure, and let's say, for example, that they are not good at conversing with you. आपसे बात नहीं कर सकते, आपको समझा नहीं सकते. With their help, you find a psychologist, right? Because the difference between psychologist and psychiatrist is the psychiatrist will give you pills. Yeah, they will understand what is going on with you. They will know your history, and then they will prescribe medication accordingly. A psychologist will sit down with you, and then they will go through your history, and then they'll try to figure out what triggers you, what the real issue is, and or try to get as close to it as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Then they will refer you depending on कि आपका कितना issue है, आपको कितना chronic या serious issue है आपका, उसके हिसाब से आप psychiatrist से मिलेंगे. Psychiatrist will prescribe you depending on what they understand from your situation, will prescribe you medication. Sometimes they may not, but mostly they will. And once they do, it is not कि सिर में दर्द है, Saradon ले ली, सिर में दर्द ठीक हो गया. Mental health doesn't work like that. Because everybody is different. We cannot. It's not broken down into a science कि वो scanner डाल दे और पता लग जाए अच्छा यहाँ पे ये issue. You understand what I'm saying?
True.
When it comes to the mental health issue part,
Mm-hmm.
so they have to. It's like a trial and error kind of situation where they start giving you medication, and they start to see how leveled you get. If, let's say if you're getting bipolar disorder, up and down, up and down, up and down, then they try to see कि जो आपका, they say that you need to take your edge off, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Edge, right? So what that means is that you have suppose children, boom, suddenly you've gone down. Suppose children, boom, suddenly you've gone up, right? In terms of moods, manic episodes,
Mm-hmm.
how you are feeling inside, right? So, and then ये नहीं है कि पहली बार आपको prescription दिया तो आप ठीक हो गए. Sometimes it takes 3 years, 2 years to figure out what medication works with your system, right? 19-20 नहीं कर सकते इस पे. You understand? Because that depends on कि आप कितना जल्दी ठीक होगे. आपको अगर कोई medication दिया है जो आपको suit नहीं कर रहा, it could raise your blood pressure, it could do other things, your cholesterol. Then they try to figure that out, and or it could adversely affect and give you hallucinations. I don't know, but these are things that can happen. But it takes time for them to figure it out, and then to get you on that right medication. And if you are on medication, then you have to stay on it for a while to get leveled out and get used to that. And then I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, so on and so forth. I'm talking from personal experience. So these people, the psychiatrists and the psychologists, they need time to spend with you to figure everything out. So that is how it works. So I was just trying to give you a breakdown on it.
Cool. So I'm agree with you. As you described the medical part of it, or with the psychiatrist and all. But I firmly believe that 80, or you can say up to 90% of the mental issues can be resolved just by yoga. Why
Yes.
I'm saying?
Yes.
Because see, take it like a simple example, like you should have seen in the villages, they have the cart which get pulled by 2 bulls, right?
Yes.
So think what will happen if one bull start running one way and other bull will start running other way.
Yeah, total chaos.
Your cart will not run smoothly, right?
Correct.
So it's the same situation with our body and mind, So our body and mind runs one way and our energy runs other way. We cannot go through smooth life with that, So with that, I believe, or my suggestion is, like, we had to figure out a way or system. uh, Even if you cannot do anything, just try to sit still every day for 10-20 minutes, empty stomach in morning or evening. Just do a pranayam. Everybody can see everywhere, right? So why I'm saying this is, most of the human being are not happy with themselves right now. That's the biggest problem. So if you are not happy with yourself, if you are not happy in your own company, how can you be happy with others? How can you be
Someone
happy
else.
with other situation, right?
Absolutely.
Because you are not resolved within yourself. You had to come in peace, in the terms, in peace in yourself. Then only you can act accordingly outside in the world, right?
Absolutely.
That can only happen when you figure out a way, or you do something which can bring you into the sync with the nature, with your own nature, with the nature outside. So for example, our body has 70% of water, right? Outside, you live near the sea, so you know, most of the people knows, most of the people, maybe North Indian doesn't know, but I'm sure they heard it. So what happened in the sea on the full moon and new moon night? Water goes up, right?
Gravity, yeah.
Yeah. So we call them tides, right?
Mhm.
So what do you think? Water inside your body is not going up?
Hmm.
I'm sure it's going up, right?
Yes.
And it affects your mood also. The same way we used to listen into our stories, like, uh, if even if you go to some mental hospital or somewhere, you will see they take extra care of their patients on new moon or full moon night, because it depends totally with our energy, our soul, or life energy, whatever you can say. If you are sync with your body, your nature, your mind, if you are happy, you will become happier in the full moon or new moon night. If you are sad, you will become maybe more sad. If you are angry, you will become more angry. So it affects our system also. So if we cannot control our system from within, I'm sure we cannot control our system from outside. That's the one thing. Now, second thing, why do we need chemicals? So now we are coming to the problems which are drug induced. So again, let's go first into the basic of that. Why anybody need drugs? Again, why? Because they cannot feel happy or relaxed in a normal circumstances. In normal circumstances, if they will be happy or relaxed, or if they can come to the peace with the conditions that my life will not run in a straight line. Sometime it will become hard, sometime it will become easy, sometime will be happier moment, sometime will be sad, right? It happens to everybody. Then you will not care about so much, even of like reacting to the tiniest problems. But most of the people, again, they cannot, they are not thinking like that. And they obviously, we are not doing yoga, and also their system is also not running that way. So they take support of the drugs. Let's say, for example, if somebody taking weed or alcohol, or I don't know, I never tried alcohol, but so for the time being,
Uh-huh.
they will feel happy, right? Relaxed, happy,
Yes.
maybe they will enjoy it. And once the effect will go down from the, from their system, again, they will hit the bottom, right? Again, they will feel lazy and sad, and there is no colors in life. And then they will go back to that, because they want to feel alive again, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So now, if we think, our body is the most sophisticated chemical factory in the world, right? In the universe.
Keep talking. Keep talking. Yeah. 1 second. Keep talking. I'm
But
listening.
yeah, but if you start affecting our body with outside chemicals, what do you think will happen? The inside chemistry will go wrong, right? So, coach, guys, let's wait a minute. I think he will be coming back. Hi, Abhishek, how are you? Okay, he's back.
Yes. Sorry.
So,
Yes.
if we will start taking help with the outside chemicals, what will happen? Our inside chemistry will go wrong, right?
Correct. Correct.
And again, we want to correct our inside chemistry which gone wrong by drugs or something else. Then we take again outside drugs which are prescribed by psychiatrist or something else, right? So instead of going so much like circles and problem after problem, this becomes a chain, one thing after another and one thing after another, by soft drugs to hard drugs to chemical pills. Why don't we come? Why don't we try to look into ourselves and just be honest with ourselves, talk to ourselves, close our eyes every day for 10-20 minutes, figure it out. What is our problem? What I'm doing wrong? Why is that person says something and it affects me so much? What control he has over me? We need to think that way, because our thoughts is our production. Same like we have other organs. For example, heart work is to pump blood throughout the body, right? Same way the mind work is to think. He will produce the thoughts, but that's up to you which thought you want to give importance and which thought you don't want to give importance of, right?
Correct.
If we can decide that consciously, I don't think 99% people will go to depression at the first place.
Yes. I go ahead. Go ahead. I'll talk.
Yeah, say it. It's okay.
No. So I agree with you. What I was saying earlier was the thing is where we have come and where we are at this point in time. But from what you are saying, I totally agree with you. The thing is, think about it, Anand, कि हमें स्कूल में मैथ और इंग्लिश की तरह योगा मैंडेटोरी है कि है नहीं है ना, या
That's what I'm
मेडिटेशन
saying. No.
या ब्रीदिंग एक्सरसाइज, और इट इज नॉट मैंडेटोरी, एटलीस्ट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट इंडिया. So
Yeah.
अगर आप उस पे देखो, sure there will be some certain certified school or some specialized schools or whatever, but I'm not talking about them. So the thing is, the further we are taken away, एक चीज बताओ, सेम थिंग, अगर आपको जिंदगी भर आपने पुशअप नहीं मारा तो आप पहले दिन थोड़ी पुशअप जाके मारते हो. You have to work on it, right? So that is how I relate to this or at least trying to explain to relate to this conversation for the others. You have to train your mind to be able to do that, but we haven't. We are talking about drugs and alcohol and chemicals. You take any stimulant here, you take caffeine, you take any other stimulants, and we get so hooked on it that we don't realize, oh, coffee नहीं पिया आज दिन नहीं चलेगा.
True.
कॉफी मत पियो, आप जाके सुबह ब्रीदिंग करके अपना, I mean, but we have kind of taken away ourselves away from that. We do not sit in the morning and we do not charge ourselves on the inside. We need that physical, I need to be ready to go, तो कॉफी पी लिया, boom, now I'm ready to go. Yes, Red Bull पी रहे हैं, पता नहीं कौन सी energy drink. And I do it myself. There was a point that I started doing a lot of it myself, but that is another reason. We are so helpless कि हम ऐसा सोच लेते हैं मैं अपने आप नहीं कर सकता. I need a foreign body in my foreign thing in my body to make myself feel better, right? So because we don't know, हमारे स्कूल में कराया नहीं. It's not something that is very important.
the maths is important, the English is important, not this. But where does this all come from? We need a state mind. We need to have a sane mind, and the chemistry inside between our waves and our organs, and it is not in sync, like you said earlier. So we have to train ourselves. We cannot get frustrated कि 2 दिन meditation के लिए बैठा कुछ नहीं ठीक हुआ. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to train yourself. You have to be true to yourself and be diligent in following through. Just like I'll take now, if you want to be a world-class football player or cricketer or boxer or MMA fighter or anything, you have to work at it. It won't
Yeah, it
just
doesn't
come to
happen
you,
overnight.
right? Correct. So agreeing with what you are saying, yes, we need to go back to things that make us whole. We don't have to look like the most ripped person. No, that's not that. All that is like a byproduct that comes later. First, you get your inner, funny, I'll say inner engineering right?
Yeah, right.
So you get that stuff in order, then everything else will work. But if your nervous system is only not right, your mind is not right, then nothing else will work. It does not matter. Now, for example, you take. I was talking about caffeine. Let's talk about pets, right? People will use that to get performance, right? Either look like big, huge, big biceps. But what happens in the end? It was a shortcut we took. It lessened our life and the quality of our life.
True.
चलो एक बारी हम 60, 70, 50 पे हम गए भगवान के पास या जहाँ पे भी गए तो physically we are gone. But for the ones who are not, they will end up with some kind of issue, major or minor, doesn't matter, but you will. So all these shortcuts that we take, coffee or steroids or headache medicine, you have to have a good base, and the base is the inner part that you fix doing your meditations, doing your yoga, doing your breathing. I mean, it's all in one, right?
True.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So I'm totally agree with you, Sensei. Nothing happens overnight. Rome was not built in a day, right? So we had to. So that was my whole point, saying about the foreign attackers, Mughals and Britishers in the starting, that which used to we had from thousands of years in this country, So, for example, you are saying nobody teaches us yoga or pranayama in the school. You are absolutely right. Why? Because we used to in Nalanda and Takshila, we used to, but Britishers destroyed them, and they made the the education structure like that can only produce workers for them. They didn't care about the mental health. They didn't care about the physical or mental well-being of the people. They just need to like squench whatever they can from the country. So that thing happened. That's why I'm saying, of course, it will take time, but if we can start from simply doing pranayama or simply sitting for 5-10 minutes with our eyes closed every day, I think it can bring huge benefits to everybody.
Absolutely.
And these mental things will go away. For sure, this will go away.
Absolutely. It's like, there is Ayurvedic medicine, there is homeopathic medicine. I'm just using this as an example.
Yeah.
Then there is allopathic medicine. Now, आपको suddenly चोट लग गई या you are sick. Now, for that immediate and effective treatment, or you might take an allopathic. But for the long run, you start taking allopathic, it comes with side effects. Just like alcohol comes with side effects, medication prescribed by a doctor, which are the legal drugs, so to speak, because a lot of these have amphetamines in it. A lot of these mental health drugs, your ADHD, or so they always have a side effect. One of which is dementia. And dementia is when you forget, your memory is gone, you don't know, you just wander around, you have no idea of what's going on. So the same way, so what they say is you use that allopathic medicine to get the immediate relief, and then you start on your long term, which does not give you side effect, be it homeopathic, be it Ayurveda. What I mean to say by saying the analogy that I just used, I mean, same thing. It takes time. Immediately, you might have to use a different way to cure or to slow down or to heal, right? But for the long run, it do not take shortcuts. Do the right thing, and if you invest the time and the effort into your body, then that you will see the results, and you will see that you're a much happier person, a much healthier person, with a family that is also happy and healthy. So you're not, when you have these issues, it's not just you. Everybody who's linked to you is positively or negatively affected. So
True.
you're right. You said this in the beginning. We have to be true to ourselves. We have to not make excuses. We have to really sit down and figure out what the issue is, and then we attack it. And surely, but surely, I can guarantee, if you give it, if you invest in yourself that time and that effort, you will see results. Yoga was not just somebody made yoga because they wanted to look like a,
It's
you
a
know, have a
science.
good beach, have a good beach body. No, when these things, these are scientific. They literally change you from inside out.
It's a
If there is
science.
no, if you have no fuel in your car, be it a Ferrari, it would not run. You need to feed that fuel to your soul, to your mind, and be healthy on the inside. A lot of these, earlier I was talking about pets and steroids. A lot of these bodybuilders or these guys, they get so huge, but they die at what, 40, 45, 50? Why?
Yeah.
Well, we know why, because they took a shortcut. I'm not judging them. I'm just telling you what the outcome is when we do those shortcuts. Yoga is not a shortcut. Meditation is not a shortcut. You need this to start to improve. Now, a lot of things are going on. Everybody has a different threshold on how they handle things. Recently we talked about, the guy, the actor, the artist who committed suicide. Now, there is a lot of people to judge. Ye to, he didn't have any this and that. No, the people who speak like that, they do not understand what goes on in the mind of a person.
True.
Now, I'll tell you, I was diagnosed with mental health issues in 2007 or 2008. I was in the US at the time, and I had met an Indian doctor actually. And the first doctor gave me 3 different medications: one for depression, one for bipolar disorder, and then one you have to give for seizures. I'm forgetting why they give it, but it has to be given in combination. Um, and unfortunately, I cannot say that about all the doctors, but quite a few are pill pushers, because they have and again, I'm not meaning to disrespect anybody, but that has
No.
been my personal experience, that because they have a tie-up with the pharmaceutical companies or their agents, and they get a cut on a certain thing. Same thing goes for chemotherapy or radiation therapy for clients. You ask the doctor, will you give somebody from your family radiation and chemotherapy? At some stages you might have to, but there is a lot of alternative therapies and things that have been supported by the same pharmaceutical companies. They do not want you to use anything that is natural, because they don't make profit. Come back now from what I was just saying. It is important that we do not get used to any foreign medicine or anything that controls us, because then once we don't have it, then we are stuck with the adverse effect of withdrawals, or withdrawal is not only from alcohol, right? Withdrawal could be from a legal medication given by a doctor. Depends on what kind of a medication is it.
True.
Now, if you look, I'll take an example from the US. A lot of kids are on Adderall. Adderall is something that is given for attention deficit disorder, ADHD. Yeah, which kid is not hyper here? Tell me, which kid is not hyper? अगर हम ऐसे करने लग गए, थोड़ी देर लग गए कि हमारा बच्चा भागते रहता है, खेलते रहता है, you understand? So people have to realize what is really going on. The more we stay to earth, the more we stay with nature, we get better, we start healing from the inside, but we have to give ourselves that time. जो जैसे अगर आप सिटी में रहते हो, आप 10 दिन के लिए चले जाओ, in go to any village, it's north, south, east, west, does not matter. You will see a difference in yourself. You will see a difference in that you can breathe better. You can see a difference that you know you'll be more active. Why? Because you are going back to nature. You're away from the pollution. You're away from the kuda kachra of all the chemicals and everything in your food and everything. So it is a very we need to keep ourselves cleansed. Just the way we need to keep our physical self cleansed, we need to keep our mental and emotional and spiritual sense cleansed as well. Because I mean, there is a when you put fuel in some vehicles, there is a net that catches the trash, right? That comes with the fuel. So if you don't have that, then or you don't clean it, then all the trash is going into the effort that you're trying to put. You see what I'm saying? So it is important. It is important that we cannot expect anybody else to do that. We can start from ourselves and start making groups or start making networks and get into this and give it the time needed to heal. We need to make this a movement. It should be a daily way. It should be a daily way of life, not something that new we are adding to our schedule. That is first. Everything else comes later. Otherwise, you will suffer the consequences of it.
True. Okay. So about your things, I will tell some examples just to connect people with those things. So like you said, drugs and PEDs taken by the bodybuilders and all, right? So I had one friend, his name was Peter, when I was in Europe, and he was so huge, bodybuilder obviously, and he was taking those, and a few days before I just got the news that he died because of heart attack. And he has two kids. I used to teach them jiu-jitsu, and they are still like I think around 14 15 something, the elder one, and younger one is around 11 12. So that's what happened when we try to use outside drug in our body, right?
Yes.
Second thing is withdrawals. Withdrawals, of course, when you are affecting your inside chemistry with the outside chemicals, and when you will take those chemicals out from your body will still demand them, right? Because your body is not producing them inside.
Right.
So the things will happen which should not be happening usually, right? Now let's go back to the actor. So there are too many peoples to blame. So-called these big movie production theaters, peoples are saying they were bullying him, not giving him movie, or like taking away his ongoing projects and all. Of course, they are to blame, but still, the problem is he couldn't control his mind. I'm sorry, I had to say that, but that's the end factor, because I can understand his life was going in like a wrong way, in a bad way, and he didn't had somebody else to talk to. I think his I don't know if she was his girlfriend or just a dear friend. She died also a few days before him. So I'm sure 100% that that factor also pushed him. But still, he should have hold his mind, and I'm 100% sure if he was doing meditation, he wouldn't have not done this, you know.
Right.
So
Yeah. So there's a lot of factors that would add up for somebody to take a drastic step like that, because nobody thinks about it. But once you do that, that's it. There is no coming back.
now
Right?
coming back.
It's not a movie. This is not a movie. And obviously there was multiple factors due to which he ended up taking that decision. You know, but then again, it comes down to your ability to handle. It's like you're going down, you're walking down a road and people start giving you tanas, making fun of you or troubling you or making your life a living hell, how do you handle that? You go crazy, start throwing rocks all over the place, or you are man enough to ignore it and kind of walk in the direction that serves you the best. What that means is whatever you're doing. In our case, it's martial arts. In somebody's, it's art. It's a different kind of art, and whatever the case may be. So if you look at that with what I said, then obviously there's a lot of things that were missing. Because we do not have that concrete base, the concrete, how do I put this? We don't have that concrete training in making ourselves mentally strong. We think we are, but there's a lot of things. Like I said earlier, threshold सबका different होता है. आपको एक चीज पे बुरा नहीं लगेगा, मुझे लग सकता है बहुत बुरा. So it also is got to do with certain things you've gone through in life and how they were handled at that point in time. Or did you get to speak to somebody? A lot of people at a young age are molested, right? And they do not talk about it to somebody, right? And that comes into your mind, and then you could become a person who would never let that happen to anybody else, or you could become that person, who ends up doing the same things because it happened to you, for whatever the thought process is in your mind. I'm not saying it is right to do, but it happens. It happens both ways. And
Totally agree with that.
it is very important, especially for the kids. So when certain things happen in your life, I'm not just talking about physical misconduct by somebody else who's molesting you. I'm talking about anything. It could be anything. Somebody could have made fun of you. You could have failed an exam. You could have been beaten up by 10 people or ridiculed by 10 people. You need to speak. The parents need to start talking to their children and give them the tough love and explain to them good things. Because I'm telling you, these things keep getting compounded up, and it makes it's obviously it's an imaginary thing in the sense you cannot physically see it, right? But it is inside you. It's like a big rock, and people take it for granted. People say, "यार कुछ नहीं होता." हमें मालूम है जो हमें तो डंडे पड़ते थे, हमें तो and like if let's say a kid is walking down and somebody jumped him or somebody made fun of him, and now he comes home and it happens 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, 40 times. This is something in his head because he didn't end up talking to somebody about it, because he didn't think it was for whatever reasons, he didn't think it was he was too embarrassed to talk. These are little things that add up, and I'm telling you, if they're not addressed, and we have not taught our kids the right thing on how to handle emotional and physical trauma, they get compounded. You might end up being a guy who enters the classroom with a gun, and starts shooting people. There is a lot of things, man. So it is very important that we bring this back into our lives and we start healing ourselves individually and as a community. Everything is good, but when you do exercise, you have to know why you're doing that exercise and how to breathe with that exercise. अब आप पुशअप मार रहे हो, ब्रीदिंग उल्टा कर रहे हो, तो आपको बेनिफिट भी उस हिसाब से मिलेगा, राइट? आप एक चीज कर रहे हो, आप ढंग से कर रहे हो, then you reap such benefits. It is, you cannot blame kids because it is not available. Everything is making us soft and making us live in a situation where we think, oh, it's okay, ek dawai kha lenge to theek ho jayenge. No, don't get there. We need to really improve as individually and as a community and push others to do the same. So we have to bring this lifestyle back, like you said so rightly.
I'm agree with that, and that's the thing which has to happen in our country. And I'm like, again, maybe
Yes.
one thing I really wanted to share here. So that's the thing which really needs to change, and it's already started changing, at least in the cities. I really thank people in the cities for doing it. So parents really need to be friends with their kids. They still tries to be friends, or in the they still try to impose their will and their ways on the kids, but they need to understand that they became friends as soon as they gave birth to the kid, right? After that, their whole sole responsibility is to make him grow as better as possible, because it's he or she in himself or herself is a whole life, right? It has its own soul or its own life energy, its own way of thinking. So why never? I'm not saying that, but it needs to change, because that's the biggest reason why kids don't talk to their parents, because they are afraid that they will, if they will share, something bad will happen or they will not care.
Right.
But if they think that they are my friends and I need to share this, then they will share it and the solution will come through, right?
Yes.
And the second thing about the willpower you were saying, about the mental threshold, I wanted to add willpower here also. Why? Because I want to give my own example in that. I was a kid from a village who never got any kind of special treatment. I was from very poor family. I struggled a lot, went to Navy, and I was used to be so uh, you know uh, strong in willpower. And I'm not saying that because, again, my father used to drink a lot and always fighting with my mother and all. And like you said, so I turned up in that way that I started hating alcohol, and I never wanted to touch it in my life. I never touch it. So I went through one of the hardest uh, course, or you can say the thing in the Navy, the diving, the Gotakhor. But when I was working outside and then I met my girlfriend, that's whole story, right? After broke up, even I went down, and I seriously went down. I used to think that I was a strong-minded kid, and I had the structure, the spiritual structure with me from the childhood, but I left it somewhere especially when I started going outside in the Navy and Merchant Navy. And when I was in even my low point, same like maybe that actor. I'm not comparing the situation, but I'm just saying an example because you know the situation. Maybe most of the people don't know, but I think you are aware. Then I turned back to the yoga, and I'm like really, really thankful for my best friend Rachit and my cousin sister who pushed me, like, gave me advice to go back to that. And life took like really huge turn from that part. Even in the sports also, what was happening to me in the last 6 7 tournaments, that I was reaching up to the finals, but I was always winning silver. I was always losing in the final because I was, maybe, okay, I had an injury, or I'm not able to move properly, but still my mental focus was not there. I can accept it honestly right now. But since I started doing that, the whole thing is just like rewired itself. In this ADCC, which happened at the biggest tournament of the India in the February 23rd, I was in total different mindset. So that's why I'm trying to push people towards yoga, because it can help in a big way to everybody. It doesn't matter if they have the difficult situation in the life, or if they are in the good situations right now. Most of the good situation people will not consider it, because again, if they are already in the good situation, they will think, oh, we don't need that. That's the biggest problem with the human being. they only consider thing, or they only pray when they are in the bad situations, right? So we need to think about that. And of course, if we will start working towards them, and someday we will become parents, we will treat our kids in that way also. So the system will start changing itself automatically, you know. So
Absolutely.
somebody has to start, right?
Yes, and I think you've done a good job in terms of that. Uh, as long as we know that this is the area of opportunity, in the sense that this is where we need improvement, and we cannot shy away from it, and we have to do it very diligently. Everybody has quite a lot of people have a different uh, uh, way of thinking, and way of thinking what they do is meditation for them. For somebody it might be doing yoga. For somebody it might be doing jiu-jitsu. But
Principle.
the core issue still lies that you got to have a clear mind. Once you can get yourself happy, everything else will fall in place. So whatever it is that is constructive, physically, emotionally, spiritually, that is something you need to do. You need to plug off from your phone devices. We not you, but we need to do that. We need to get away from these in terms. We need to start giving ourselves that time to be able to do it. Cannot have a phone sitting right next to me. I go to the park to jog and I see people looking at their phone and jogging. So we cannot have. We have to be very single-minded in our pursuit to be able to do this the right way. Otherwise, it's you are either delaying it or you are not doing it the right way to
Mhm.
reap the full benefit. So
Yeah, it's like that
it,
that ignoring problem is not the solution of the problem, you know.
you cannot run away from it. You cannot run away from it. It'll keep following you everywhere. So you need to kind of stop there and man up. Otherwise, you will lose a lot of time in life. I would like to give that myself as an example. I mean, things lead to other things, and then you'll end up messing up your relationships with your family, with other people, with people you work with. You will end up, people will not respect you. They will not like you. And doesn't matter, regardless of if they are perfect or not, or what their story is. I'm talking about whoever is adversely affected by it. So like today I am 45 years old. I've taken more than a decade to start realizing that this is not a movie, this is a real life, and I need to get away with this. Nobody, घोड़े को आप पानी के पास ला सकते हो, but पानी नहीं पिला सकते.
True.
Your support system can talk to you, your support system can get you to the place where you do the right stuff, but physically, emotionally, mentally, you are the one who has to do it. And
Exactly.
better to do it
You
now than to waste the time. It is स्कूल में कल पढ़ाई कर लेंगे, कल पढ़ाई कर लेंगे, कल पढ़ाई कर लेंगे, अब अगले दिन एग्जाम है और आज रात को पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं. Sure, you will not have that kind of a situation, but you will have a situation where you are wasting precious time, and that is one thing. That is one thing I regret deeply. My family has stood by me. I've gone through mental health issues. I've gone through a divorce, and I've gone through alcohol abuse. But I have put that behind me, and I'm trying to get to be a better person. But you have to start somewhere, and wherever you start, you're going to think, वो होगा नहीं होगा. आप वो सब छोड़ो. You just start doing it, and you give it your best. You be determined, on it, like you are determined in winning 100-meter car race. में मैंने तो जीतना है, like that. But do not expect the results to be at the end of the 100-meter. It is a long relay in life for you
it's a
to be able
marathon,
to
not a
attain
sprint.
that level of calm in your head, in your heart, in your being. Physical and everything, like how we train to be look so awesome on the outside, we need to do that for ourselves on the inside, right? Otherwise, nothing will get fixed. But we have to be diligent. Otherwise, you will wake up one day and you'll be like, I'm 50 years old. What have I done in the past 10 to 15 years? I know I was sulking, I was crying, I was depressed, I was drinking, I was smoking, whatever. And all these habits are putting you further down, into that hole that you don't want to be in. you want to be going the opposite direction. So there is no good time to start. You need to start now, whoever you are, and do not waste that time, because you could have spent that time as quality time healing yourself and spending it with your loved ones, because everybody has a shelf life. Our physical body has a shelf life. Once we are gone, we are gone. Or once we are going, we cannot sit and regret, ye karna chahiye tha, wo karna chahiye tha. No, stop all that. Start healing yourself and giving yourself time alone. No electronic gadgets, no nothing. Just yourself. Give yourself that tranquility, outside and on the inside. Because once you're calm and tranquil, then then you can one by one start taking care of the issues you have, whether they have quantified because of the current pandemic, or it is something you've been dealing with. Because I'm telling you, people make fun of people with mental health issues or with issues with addiction, but it takes a real person to step up and help these people. And it goes back to where people don't realize what this really is. So I really appreciate, Anand, कि आप ये कर रहे हो, and I think आपका पास अगर time है तो let the people come. Let's start doing these. Even if it means we really don't want to be all the time next to an electronic device, but we need those to start off now as a group, or whoever wants to join, and you start and you tell, because everybody doesn't know. Somebody doesn't know how the breathing is. Somebody doesn't know what do I need to focus on, how do I need to sit. Everybody, we can get people in who can help us with that, and let's start this for real. Because 10 people can join us on this conversation, and they can individually help 10 more, and it can become a movement like that. It can grow like that. It is very important, because people are stuck. पैसा नहीं है, rent कहाँ से देंगे, खाना कहाँ से खाएंगे. हम तो फिर भी ठीक है, but there's so many people who may have the money, but they are missing something else, and they are in the dumps. There's so many people who don't have the money, and they are in the dumps. So we need to really. It might sound like a far-fetched idea, but we've already started. You've already started. There's a lot of people who are making that difference. Let's really do it. Let's get on this. Get people to join. Understand how to breathe, how to sit and relax, how to get up at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. Do your affirmations where you are starting to become stronger from the inside out. If you're not strong in the inside, once the outside starts faltering, it is all gone from there.
True.
There is no turning back. So
Sensei,
we don't.
the biggest problem, it's a hard pill to swallow for everyone, but it's true, and you will agree with me, I'm sure. The people are invested so much in their own misery, they don't want to come out,
Yes.
because even so, for example, when it happened to me, I realized that it was so easy. No equipment, no doing something like rocket science. Just I need to sit still and just be honest with myself, But people, it's true. They cannot close their eyes and sit still for 5 minutes. They will go crazy, They will start running and checking their phone, and then they will, that's the thing. They had to realize that it's so simple. It's the simplest idea in the world. Everything is within, because our 5 senses God gave us, they are only for survival. Survival outside in the world, for physical survival, So like eyes, nose, sense, touch, hear, smell, seeing, those things. If, for example, if you're born in a jungle, in a forest, and you found something to eat, are you going to put it inside your ears or inside your eyes and nose, and then accidentally found your mouth? No. It will directly go in the mouth. It means it's like inbuilt system. You don't have to think for the survival. A lot of animals, a lot of species are doing it very easily, and we are like doing it by so much of difficulty, but this doesn't have to be in that way. And if you want to do something better than that, if you want to become or do something good for others, first you have to again turn inwards, you know. So first you have to come in peaceful terms with your own self. Once you can do that, then you can look outside. Okay, now I want to do this thing or that thing, right? Second thing, and again, when I started this, and I wanted to do this from long time. In the starting, like first when I thought before 5 6 years, my only vision was to provide the, like wherever I will start the academy, provide the people with the solid physical structure, you know. But as long as I started like grow my own self in this spiritual kind of world also, my thinking started to change. Now I don't want just them to give them a place to train their body. I want them to become capable in mentally also, you know, spiritually also. They can so that they can handle the other aspect of the life also, not only the physical part, just come and go do the workout, learn the technique and go home, you know. So always to my students, Gurgaon one also and the village one also, I'm always teaching them sometimes like slowly in the simple terms, pranayama and meditation, om and some these things also, because I know if I will put these seeds in them right now, when they will become a full-fledged human being, that will alter their life drastically, you know. I
Absolutely.
learned this hard way. Doesn't mean they had to learn this hard way also.
Right.
So that was the whole focus, to start teaching the kids in the village, that so that I can give them now. It's like a platform, not only to make them capable physically or make them athlete, but to make them a good and better human being for tomorrow. Because that will be the actual achievement for me. Doesn't matter if I cannot even collect 1 lakh rupees at the end of my life, but I will be happy. If I will
Right.
die a failure, I will die a peaceful failure, you know?
Maybe that is for another conversation, though, because see, I guess we need to stay in moderation when we do everything. When we go overboard doing one thing, something gets left unchecked. But I get what you're saying. I get exactly what you're saying. And we had a comment from Vikas where he said, perfection in your work is yoga. Whatever you are doing, should do it with your heart and passion. Yes, because we definitely, at least I definitely agree with you. This is what we were talking about. See, we have been so pushed so far away from the reality of what we should be doing that we're not even taking care of our inner selves. And yes, you're right. Anything that you do to reap the best results out of it, it has to be done with a single-minded pursuit, with dedication, determination, willpower. You can use as many words, but you have to be true to yourself at the end of the day while doing what what you're doing. Because so
Okay.
yeah.
So sorry to cut you, Sensei.
Mm,
To the Vikas, yeah, Vikas, you are right. As an athlete, we are doing yoga also. That's what I want other people to understand, that yoga is not only making physical postures and sitting still and try to meditate. Yoga means union. That means you don't have to stop your other things and do a separate kind of practice. Doesn't matter if it is a meditation or physical yoga. Yoga means you bring yourself up to a say one kind of mentality where you are in peace with yourself, and you apply that practice in everything in your life. Doesn't matter if you are athlete or singer or dancer, or you are doing day to day normal work. You take that practice with you, you put it in everything in your life. Doesn't have to be separate. I think,
Right.
am I clear, Sensei?
Yeah, no. For me, yeah, I understood. I understand what he's saying. So we are pretty much saying the same thing. Uh, so,
So I think that's enough for today, Sensei.
oh, okay, yeah, absolutely. Whatever. It's your call, sir. You're the boss.
No, 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 nothing like that. So, okay, the basic thing was to today discuss about the mental health. So, uh, guys, we will be posting this on YouTube also. So many people's didn't saw today. We had the technical problem, something in the starting, so many people left. But it will be available on the YouTube also, so you all can see it, and we will be keep talking on the topics like this, because that's the one thing to realize yourself, and other thing to bring it to in awareness to in others awareness. Sorry for my bad English, Sensei. Village kid.
Yeah, so, one thing, agar this group or anybody who is having any sort of issues, and you think, because nowadays children don't realize, little things for them is humongous, and they feel the pressure for it. It has to be handled accordingly.
It's their
I
parents'
would,
job.
huh?
It's their parents' job, Sensei.
Correct. So I would request that, please get with somebody. If it is you personally, sometimes your level of comfort hota hai. Maybe you can't talk to your parents. You could talk to, maybe a senior in training, or a senior at work, or maybe a neighbor, or maybe anybody who you are comfortable with. First thing is, talk to somebody. If you are not try, you're not able to, you talk to them that you need professional help. If not, you pick up Google and you find a person, get somebody to talking to you, but you also have to start working on yourself, because you are trying, you're training to be, let's say, you're training for your goal, but you have a 200 kg vest on your shoulders. It's going to make you slower, it's going to make you sluggish. So start, meditating, start getting up early and doing the right things. You need help. There are so many coaches and people who are there to talk to you and help you. You can, so use those resources. Give us a call. We are all over the internet. We are not, I'm not a professional yoga teacher, but I can give you, I can give you ideas. I can talk to you. I can give you a direction. So can Anand, so can other people who are actually in the field, professionals or not. But go about it the right way, and do not cheat yourself of a good life. At the end of the day, TK, shit happens. You can take 10 years to realize that, or you can start working on it today and minimize the time that is going to get wasted because of issues like that. And yes, it is wasted, because you are, the quality of that time and of your life for those many years, months, weeks, whatever it is reduced to nothing but, negativity that needs to go out of your, whatever way it has come to your life. It is not good for you to, we'll call it negativity. Get it out of your life and start
True.
getting stronger on the inside. Once you get stronger on the inside, the same situations and things you will be laughing at later, because you are much stronger inside. You don't need a freaking 18-20 inch biceps to be strong. You understand? You need to be
Yeah,
strong on the inside. So
yeah.
stay strong, stay safe, speak to somebody. If somebody else has an issue, please talk to them. If you don't know how to handle it, speak to a senior, an older person who can handle it for you. But get them to the right, get them to the right, people and connections and the right resources, so we can,
True, true.
these situations can be taken care of. There is so many athletes who don't live their goals. There are so many people who don't live their potential, no matter what their goals are. Athlete, artist, scientist, because they have these blocks, and these are real. These are things that will keep you from your goal, reaching your true potential. So stop. I know how it feels when you are you feel cornered, you feel that nothing is going right. I need a bottle, I need a pill, I need anger, I need to smash somebody, I need to punch somebody. you calm down, take 2 steps back, start analyzing, thinking, and start slowing it down. Everything will fall in place. I promise.
True, true. So the thing is, bring your both bowls to work together and you will go a long way, right?
Absolutely, absolutely,
And guys, we
absolutely.
are always here, as like Sensei said. So even if you cannot find someone else, whatever we can help, we will try to help you out. Also, about the electronic gadgets, I will suggest one simple thing. You try it, Sensei, also, and let me know how it works. So, 2 times, once after waking up and before sleep. If 1 hour before, after waking up or before sleep, if you cannot see your mobile, just try to do that. You will
Yes,
see how big the change will be in your life.
correct.
That's the biggest time because after when we wake up, our concentration level is at the peak. And that
Mhm.
time, if we check the mobile, our whole concentration goes into that, you know?
That
Yeah.
direction.
So don't deal with your mobile after waking up. Don't check the message. Don't go through Instagram or Facebook, whatever. Just wake up, do your routine, do your meditation or exercise, whatever you want to do. Check it later, 7, 8, 9 o'clock. It's okay. Nothing is emergency. If there is emergency, you will know anyway. And in emergency, I will check also. Of course, anybody will check, right? But
Yes,
and same in the evening. It's not like you are watching laptop or into your mobile up to 1 o'clock and then suddenly you put your mobile and try sleeping. You will, for sure, you will not get a good night's sleep and you will much more again mess up your mental health again. So try to put it. So for example, if you intend to sleep at 12, put your mobile away at 11. Lay down, close your eyes, and try to be conscious as long as you can before fall in sleep. Try to be conscious as long as you can. You will see how like good and deep sleep you will get, how fresh you will be in the morning. So those two things, try it out and just let me know. And guys, again, your so for example, it's my body, it's my responsibility. It's not like my hand suddenly will start going crazy and start hitting myself, right? It will never happen. Why? Because I'm control is also my responsibility. My mind, my responsibility. I need to control it also. So guys, either you take a step to control it. Doesn't matter if it is a yoga or meditation. Yoga and meditation is just one of the best way to do it naturally, if you will not do it naturally, then you have to do it chemically or in any other way. So try to do that. And again, life is definite. We all have definite amount of time on this earth. So either you will use it or time will use you, right? Either you ride the
mm,
wheel of time or wheel will ride you, crush you,
mm.
better to say.
But Anand, why don't you do the? Why don't you see the first time even though I've been with martial arts like from the age of 6 or 7, there's a lot of people who find it challenging to sit down and be able to collect your thoughts and to do breathing and meditate. Maybe not if you don't have time right now. Maybe the next one you do in this regard, you please kind of break it down, structure it down where you can tell people who want to sit and start doing this that first the challenges they may face, so they don't get like, oh, it's not happening, I'll do it some other time. So how to collect your thoughts, how to start breathing, because when we close our eyes for meditation, and if you're not used to it, you'll have 10,000 thoughts running your mind,
True,
right?
true,
It's
true.
like changing from one channel to the other, to the other, to the other on your TV. So that is one of the initial things that you will face. People who try to do it for the first time or the first few times will face
Mhm.
that challenge, but it is not impossible. You can overcome it. It is just a matter of that you've not done it before. So maybe Anand,
True.
you could talk about that, since you are pretty streamlined with that, and that will help us. I have myself haven't meditated in a while, So I would, it will kind of help everybody
Okay.
in a
So guys, I will try to share a simple idea right now and just try it and let me know what are the difference next time. And guys, we will be again, whoever will see this video on YouTube or somewhere else, just comment and let us know your ideas or suggestion, or if you are interested in knowing more. And then next time we will try to break it down in a proper way, like structurally, as Sensei said. For this time, try to do this thing in the morning, empty stomach, or in the evening, empty stomach. Empty stomach means you should not eat food at least 3-4 hours before that. Just finish your routines, go to the bathroom, brush and all. If you can take a shower, that's good. Just sit down and do one thing. Try to do the Anulom Vilom, Sensei?
I'm sorry?
The Anulom Vilom, first part of the pranayama.
No.
Okay. So, guys, let me sit down. I need to show this. Wait. लाओ हूँ शांति रखो. So, guys, now I'm sharing a basic but very effective technique with you. So please stay with me. So the thing is, I woke up in the morning, I took shower and everything, and now I sat down. So try to sit down in your basic cross-leg posture. Okay, something like this. Yeah. And after that, the first, so the biggest problem or biggest question with the people, even my student ask also, that their mind keep wandering. They cannot focus their mind, right? That's the biggest reason why people cannot sit down and meditate. They know, I'm sure most of the people, they know that meditation is really good for them, for mental health and all, but they cannot do it because they don't know how to control it, right? So here is the magic solution, guys. You don't have to control it. You just have to make your mind calm. So how can you make the mind calm? So in the day-to-day life, our breathe works on a different level every time. Sometimes it's slower, sometimes it's faster, sometimes it's smaller, like a short duration, sometimes it's long duration. Okay. So first of all, we need to bring our breathe to a basic level, to a same balanced breathing where we can try our meditation. So most of my student knows this already because I taught them a long way before, but I'm telling for everyone else. So the Anulom Vilom, which most of you have seen Baba Ramdev doing it. There is many other way to do it, but I will suggest this is the best exercise, best first part of the pranayama. There are 4-5 parts, but first part, and why this is good is our body have three energy pathways, three main energy pathways. Our body have 112 junction, but three straight line pathways. One is this side, one is this side, and one in the center. Okay. So this is called Ida, this is called Pingla, and middle one is Shushupna. Middle one is usually blocked in most of the human beings. Our basic work is to balance these two and let the energy start flowing in the middle. Our energy is always in the lowest, we say chakra, right? But let's say it's energy junction, right? For simple understanding, it's always there. It never goes up in upward direction in usual human being unless you start practicing yoga. And once energy starts upwards, then your other energy junction starts activating, and that will help you in a long way. So guys, I will not overwhelm you with the knowledge, so I will tell you. So once you will start the Anulom Vilom, the idea is to breathe as slow as possible, so that even your hand in front of your nose cannot even feel the breathing. And you will start from the left nose. You breathe out first, you breathe in from the left, breathe out from the right, you breathe in from the right, breathe out from the left. That much I think everybody knows. But what actually happening here? So look, if I'm breathing from here, air is going inside the lungs, and then again circling, coming from other side and going outside other side. So it's almost making like an infinitive sign, you know, it's going like that way. So it's automatically balancing my right and left side of the energy pathway, Ida and Pingla, so that the energy can start flowing inside the middle one, you know. So that's your work. Let's say in the starting, do the 10 circle, 10 rounds, or you can do 12, or you can do more than that also. Or if you cannot count, then you put the time. Sensei, let's say you put 4 or 5 minutes. Okay. So you sit in the cross leg posture. You leave your left hand on your legs, palm facing upwards, loosely placed, palm facing upwards, just leave it. Use your right hand, your middle finger and your thumb will guide the breathing. So guys, close your eyes, breathe out from the left, breathe in again, as slow as possible, as slow as possible. Block it with your little finger, breathe out other side as slow as possible, then block it with the thumb just under the nasal bone, you know. Light, if you put lightly, you can block it. After doing 10 or 12 times, or 5 minutes, let's say 3 or 4 minutes also, just concentrate on your breathing. Just try to feel your breathing going as slow as possible. If you will really concentrate, your mind will go very calm. You will feel that there is no unwanted thoughts are coming in your mind right now. And then just close your eyes, put your hands outside, preferably palm facing upwards. Okay, you can make a yoga mudra also like this, that's okay also. And then just keep your focus in between your eyebrows. You don't have to actually concentrate hard enough, it will go automatically there. Just keep it there and just make yourself realize, talk to yourself, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind. You say I'm not the body when you are breathing in, you say I'm not the mind when you are breathing out. It's not a religious thing, it's just way to make yourself realize that you are much more than that. You are much more than this physical flesh and blood, you know. And then try to sit for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, as long as you can. Just sit still. Don't force yourself. If your mind wanders, don't care about that. It will come back. You can bring it back also with a little bit of practice afterwards. But in the starting, you don't have to go behind a thought. Don't give importance to your thought. That's the basic idea. Don't ever give importance to any thought coming in your mind that time. Just keep your focus in between your eyebrows. That's it. Just practice this. I think it will hardly take you 10 minutes. Practice this thing. Guys, whoever is here, and sensei, you also. And after 4 or 5 days, just let me know how you feel. If you can do 2 times in a day, that's well and good. If you can do even 1 time, that's okay also. Preferably in the morning. So I will repeat one more time. Sit in cross leg posture, left hand palm facing upwards, loose on the legs, right hand in front of the nose. Breathe out from the left first, breathe in, breathe out from the right, breathe in from the right, breathe out from the left. Continue the circle for maybe at least 4 or 5 minutes, or 10-12 breathing circles. And then after, loosely placed your hands outside your legs, your backbone straight. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind. Breathing in, I'm not the body. Breathing out, I'm not the mind. And then try to keep your mind, just watch your breathing, focus on your breathing, nothing else. Keep your focus in between eyebrows, and just try to enjoy that silence. Okay, try to enjoy, try to talk to yourself. I even say, well, it's not necessary to talk to yourself also in the starting. Just enjoy that calmness of period of calmness, and just let me know how you feel it. And if you feel good, and next session we will break it down in more details, and we'll bring something exciting for other our listeners also. Is it good?
Anand sir, I have a request. What are you doing tomorrow morning, 5 o'clock?
Tomorrow morning, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, I'm starting my village kids, teaching my village kids.
Okay.
What you
No,
want
I
to
was
do?
asking that we can, tomorrow morning, we can do one for anybody who wants to get started early in the morning. But since you're busy, maybe we can do it day after. But, I mean,
I can do.
we can do tomorrow.
So listen, what I just told you now, that's good enough for anybody to get started. Also, I can repeat it in the evening also if you wanted to, and I can do it in the morning also if you want, because I'm waking up around 3 o'clock. So
Okay.
I'm doing my
So,
meditation, and I will be finished around 4:15, 4:30. So I can do it around after 4:30, between 5, because
okay.
5 I will start village kids, and 6:30 I will teach the Gurgaon kids. So those 4-5 hours are packed.
Okay. So if you I don't know, did you say 4:30 to 5? If you have the time, I'll do it with you. If anybody else if you have the time, if anybody else wants to join, why? Because I don't, for others, I don't want to wait for 2-3 days. Maybe they don't do it right. Tomorrow morning we can, with them, we can do it together. If anybody has a question, they can ask. If not, that's fine. And then then we can reconnect after a week or something.
Yeah, sure,
And
sure.
whichever way,
And,
if anybody wants to do it.
and if it's not like if it's too early for you, we can do it after 8 o'clock also, after finishing
No,
the
then
class.
the purpose gets defeated when it gets so
Yeah,
late.
true.
Because we want to
Because
do it. I
the
would request
energy
everyone to
around
do it
4
when.
o'clock, it's amazing.
So if we can do tomorrow 4:30, if other people join, will be great. But at least you and I can connect, and then we can do the same way. And if there's anybody else, they can connect.
Cool. Okay, let's do tomorrow 4:30. Cool.
Okay, in the morning.
You have to update it in your story then.
Yes. Absolutely.
Good. Okay, coach. So I think it's enough for today.
Absolutely, yes.
So guys,
And thank you. Thank you.
yeah, thank you, coach, for joining and sharing your valuable information with us, your wisdom, and again, this all coming from the life experiences. So guys, if it's good enough, then we will be happy that we are able to make a difference. If it's not, you can always find other good or valuable source. Just do it. Doesn't have to come through us,
Correct.
and give us your suggestions or your thoughts on this. If you have any question, let us know, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 4:30 and in the future also, right?
Absolutely.
So Ram Sensei,
Ram,
share it
Jai Hind.
so that I can record it and put it on YouTube.